The sea that belongs to tomorrow. My friends, we gather at a moment when the tides of history feel as if they're shifting under our feet. In recent weeks, more than 100 vessels have moved across our region's seas. Warships, cutters, and escorts spread from the Yellow Sea to the wide Pacific. They pass through waters where fishermen work, where commerce flows, and where our children look out and imagine their future. And with each movement, the question is whispered: what path will humanity choose? I want to speak plainly tonight. Japan has no desire for conflict. We ask for transparency, stability, and the simple respect that nations owe to one another. Yet we must also acknowledge what we are witnessing: a deliberate show of force, paired with accusations that do not reflect the truth on the water. This is a pattern: pressure without foundation, assertion without dialogue, the attempt to reshape the status quo not through persuasion but through presence and intimidation. This is not the first time Asia has felt such tension. Many of you remember the Taiwan Strait crisis of the mid-1990s. Missiles landed in the sea to influence an election, and the world held its breath. The pressure was intense. The risks were real. But what prevented war was not fear. It was clarity. Clear communication, clear deterrence, clear recognition that a simple misjudgment could cost tens of thousands of lives. In that tense moment, allies coordinated, leaders spoke openly, and diplomacy, backed by calm strength, forestalled disaster. It was a reminder: force can shake the waters, but it cannot wash away human judgment. And I think too of our own experience in 2012, during the Senkaku crisis. Wars hardened, vessels closed in, and everyday citizens worried that the next incident would escalate beyond control. I remember speaking with an elderly fisherman from Okinawa who told me, "The sea is our livelihood, not a battlefield." His voice held no anger, only the quiet sorrow of a man who had seen too many storms and too many ambitions fall upon ordinary people. What carried us through those months was patience, communication, and the national refusal to let pride overtake prudence. Those stories remind us that regional stability is not a contest of ships, but a test of character. They show that humanity's greatest strength is our ability to step back from the brink, to recognize the dignity of the lives on the other side of the horizon, and to understand that no political message is worth the blood of our sons and daughters. Today's situation carries similar risks. Large formations of naval and coast guard vessels maneuver near disputed zones, while state media issues claims designed to shift blame. It is easy, in such a climate, to let fear dictate our reactions. But fear narrows the mind, clarity expands it. And so we must respond not with panic, but with steadiness, not with anger, but with truth, not with escalation, but with resolve. Our resolve begins with a simple principle: peace is the responsibility of those who value humanity. Peace is not passive. Peace must be defended by law, by transparency, and by a united front of nations committed to human dignity. Japan will do its part. We will monitor the skies and seas with discipline. We will strengthen communications with partners who share our commitment to stability. We will pursue diplomatic channels that reduce the risk of miscalculation. And we will speak honestly with our neighbors, even when honesty is uncomfortable. But I must also speak to every person beyond our borders who believes in the human spirit. This is not a confrontation between two nations alone. It is a test of whether humanity can choose restraint over coercion, understanding over intimidation, and wisdom over posturing. When any nation amasses force without transparency, That decision ripples outward. It touches the fisherman, the student, the factory worker, the mother who hopes her child will never grow up under the shadow of war. That is why we must look beyond national pride and remember the moral truth. The lives we protect are not only our own. In times like these, calm is not weakness. Calm is mastery. Seriousness is not pessimism. Seriousness is the duty we owe to those who depend on us to navigate uncertain waters with steady hands. To every person across Asia who believes in the worth of human life, stand firm in that belief. Reject the narrative that conflict is inevitable. Reject the idea that force decides the future. And remember that the greatest power any nation possesses is not the size of its fleet, but the clarity of its own purpose. Japan's purpose is clear: to preserve peace, to defend human dignity, and to ensure that this region, our home, remains a place where people can live, dream, and build without fear. Let us meet this moment with a calm spirit and unshakable faith in humanity. Let us choose the path that elevates life above power, truth above propaganda, and shared future above narrow ambition. And let us do so with clarity, the clarity that comes from knowing that peace, though fragile, is always worth protecting.